Hi guys, and welcome to today's task. For today's task, I'm going to show you 3 different methods for hand tilling your raised flower beds or just your regular flower beds. I know a lot of people like a rototiller when it comes to a bigger garden, but since these are so small, it's kind of hard to get one up and in there. So I use these 3 different methods for tilling my soil. So I've gone ahead and tilled this entire flower bed. It looks nice, it's aerated, there's a lot of life in the soil now, and it is ready for planting. And the tools I used are this tine, I don't know what you call it, but you stick it in and turn it and the tines break up the soil. I used my Spading Fork, which I really like, and another method that I've used my whole life is just a plain shovel. For any tilling project, you definitely want to go through and take off any of the top debris, unless you want to just churn that underneath. But I know a lot of this is rocks that keep surfacing, and I want them out of my flower bed. So I'm going to go ahead and rake lightly across the top to pick up any debris that I don't want to churn back into the soil. During the spring and the fall, we get a lot of seeds dropping from our trees above, and I love their shade, but I hate their seeds. So it's a good time now to get those out of the soil so that you don't get little sprouts later on. I'll still get a few, but this at least eliminates the majority of them. And those pesky rocks. And I know some people might be thinking, Joel, you're getting rid of a lot of dirt. And yes, there's a little bit of dirt that comes with this, and I could screed it and kind of put all that soil back. But where I go and dump this dirt, I have a spot in my yard that's actually low, so it's okay that I'm putting a little bit of soil, because I'm just kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul a little bit on this one, and that's okay. I want these flower beds to be a lot nicer, so I want to sift out as much garbage as I can right now before we till it under and have to pick it out again next year. The first method that we're going to be using is this Tine Style tool. You put your foot on it, push it into the soil, and then turn it. And as far as methods go for hand tilling, this is the easiest on the back, the easiest on the body. It's not requiring any lifting, you're just twisting and turning the soil. The caveat to this is it will only get that deep, and if you go back a second pass, you may be able to get a little deeper, but it's not going to churn it as deep and as thorough as some other hand methods do. But as far as ease of tool goes, this one is the easiest on the body. So I will link this tool down in the description as well. Just as easy as it looks, you put your foot on it, push it in, and turn. And when I move my tine to the side, I only move it about halfway, so that part of it's in tilled soil, part of it's in non-tilled soil. And I feel like that just kind of helps mix them together really well. But you can see that it really brings a lot of aeration to the soil. It breaks it up nicely. You do sometimes get a little bit of a pack of dirt, but it really doesn't change the capability of it. It really just still does the same thing. You just keep pushing it down and turning. And as far as work goes, this one is the easiest on your body. It's not too difficult to turn it, given this soil is pretty soft. But I'm not hunched over or lifting anything with my back like sometimes you have to with a shovel or the other methods. But it goes pretty fast, and you can cover a lot of terrain really quickly. And I do like this one's particular platform that you put your foot on, because it's wide. It's not like a small ridge of a shovel that can sometimes hurt your foot. It's actually a really big pad, so you have a lot of surface area to get in there and get it done. Look at that clump of mud. Periodically I'll go back through, clean it off, and get these tines doing their full job again. But they fill up just as quick. This dirt is particularly wet from all the rain we've had the past couple of days, but it makes it nice and soft too, so gotta pick your poison. Method number 1. Method number 2 is a little bit my favorite. It is the Spading Fork. It's really a versatile tool. I think this one's the one you'll use more often in more spots and locations. So if you're gonna buy any of the tools to use, this is the one. The only caveat is you have to lift it like a shovel, so it does take a little more work and laborsome as opposed to the first one, but I feel like it works better and you get a lot deeper instantly when you start using this one in your turning. All you're going to want to do is push it in, turn, and twist. And I go back and break it just a little bit. Just as simple as that. It just starts churning this dirt up. And I like that you can just, any of the big clumps, just go at it, and it really breaks those up as well. At the end of the day though, all of these methods just require a little bit of manual labor. I'm definitely getting a lot deeper on the soil as I'm churning this one up. And I feel like I can cover ground a little faster. Maybe that's just me. But see, I'm getting deep enough to get to these roots that are growing down there that I want to get rid of. There's something about tilling your soil that is somewhat methodical. Just, not methodical, what's the word? Just meditative, I guess. Just feels good to just take something that looked so ugly and not ready for life, bringing some life into it. Something just feels good about that. That's method number 2. See how much more churn that is? It brings so much more to the surface. We were obviously touching depths that we weren't going to get with that other method, but it did take a little more labor. I'm a little more tired, and I can feel my back from bending over. So although this is a better method, I feel like it does wear you out a little bit more. So pick your poison, I guess. All right, method number 3 is tried and true spade shovel. I've been churning soil and tilling soil with one of these most of my life. It works really good. It does have some pros and some cons. One of the cons is just like the Spade Fork, it requires a little more labor. You're lifting and pulling, you're gonna probably work your back a little bit. You shouldn't be blowing out your back by any means, but you're gonna make it a little bit sore or bending over, whatnot. So it is a little more labor intense. One of the pros though is it gets a deep and rich churn, but one of the cons of that is you have to break it up again afterwards. It really kind of only lifts a shovelful. It doesn't break it like the Spade Fork does to begin with. Stick the shovel in, and it doesn't go in as easy as the other one, but it does get a good amount turned when you do it. So it's one of those things you just got to decide what you really want, or if you feel like spending the money on a Spade Fork, or if you feel like spending the money on one of those little tine turners, whatever you call that thing. I wish I knew what that was called, but I do think I can cover ground a lot faster with a shovel as opposed to any of the methods. And luckily the dirt is actually breaking up really well, so this is working great right now. But sometimes you'll get those hard clumps where what you've picked up and put back down looks the exact same. Keep grabbing rocks as I go. I do like the comfort of this particular shovel. It has a wide step, so my foot doesn't hurt stepping on it at all, as opposed to the Spade Fork. It's kind of narrow. So I think doing that all day, you might make your foot a little bit sore, but once a year tilling to have the best looking flower beds or garden. What's this? I don't know if this is true or not, but I have heard you want to till your garden 2 times a year. Once in the spring, right now, kind of as a soil prep, making it soft and nice and plantable, putting some air and life into it. And then once in the fall, and I believe the fall one is so that you can take whatever debris has gotten stuck in there, you know, leaves, grass clippings, whatever, anything, you can put it underneath and it'll start composting in the soil. So I've always heard you want to till twice, but I clearly haven't. I typically only till in the spring. I just don't worry about the fall one, but I think it might be better for my soil. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Someone comment down below. Say, Joel, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. But that may be the truth. And that is method number 3. You guys, as you can tell, all 3 methods work really, really well. It actually puts a lot of aeration into the soil. It gets it fluffy and ready for planting and soft. It gets me an opportunity to clean out any of the bad debris that's in here, and they all work just fine. for whatever you're going to do. So I encourage you to take a look at which option you like, and I will link all of the tools that I use in the description down below. And until next time, we'll see you guys. So I've gone ahead and done this flower bed. The first tool, before any... Okay, so as simple as it is, guys, can't twist with your foot in there, Joel. Don't be an idiot. And method number 2 is kind of my favorite. It is my, sorry, spading fork. Lady, I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel better when I'm out here. Lady, don't mind the chainsaw or whatever's running over there, weed eater. Lady, one of the cons is just like the lady,